Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we're back with another fantastic reaction video. Today we're going to be reacting to more Kazuhana once again, but not about anime Skynet. This one's about Sameko Saba, it used to be called Gura. Starting to react to a lot more VTuber stuff, Livia. Have you noticed that? It's very interesting how this life has been for me so far on YouTube and twitch.tv/JamButtVO. Apparently there's a huge surprise coming up, and I want Kazuhana to tell me about it. I know that she hasn't been really streaming too much in a while. I'm assuming health issues or something like that. You guys can give me the full rundown here. As usual, we pretty much react to these things blind, so you can get my full, honest, unadulterated reaction. And let's jump right into it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so YouTube and Twitch Senpai can finally notice me. If you're watching as long as you can, you greatly support the channel. I like Saba's design, I will say that a lot, but the main reason why I know about Saba, obviously because I've seen clips of Gura, and I know that she transferred to this character after leaving Hololive, but my friend really likes Saba, and I ended up getting some merch for him for his birthday. So that's why I kind of, remember her at the top, near the top of my list for VTubers. But you guys know I've been normally kind of like mostly tourist mode when it comes to this stuff until like the last month or so. Once that subathon for wow, my brain hurts. I think it just collapsed a little bit. Neurosama, thank you God, Jesus Christ. Storm's gonna be mad at me. Storm's gonna be mad. They're gonna be like, how could you forget? I told you I was a tourist. Anyways, let's get right into the video, shall we? Let's do this.
Fans have been pretty skeptical about how much she's going to be streaming and how much she's going to be back ever since coming back from a small little break, right? And yeah, many people were concerned, and obviously this is a pretty normal thing with Saba and also her past life, right, to essentially take a couple of breaks due to whatever issues that she's having. And yeah, essentially she did come back recently to stream obviously 2 weeks ago, and then streamed a bit of Hightail for a couple of days, and her last stream was 6 days ago. So she's been on a little bit of a streak recently, at least some streams. So again, people were very, very happy to see that she is back, and a lot of people had tuned in for a lot of those streams. But one thing that a lot of people were not expecting was the recent announcement which came out from Oshi Spark, the production company behind From Minto with Love. Now they say, yo-ho, we have one more surprise for you all. Sameko Saba will be joining From Minto with Love as an additional special guest. Venue tickets are sold out for both shows, but streaming tickets are still available below. So,
whoa, what is this? What is Oshi Spark? Okay, hopefully he'll explain it for me. I did not know about any of this. Is this like a well, I mean, there's streaming tickets available, and it seems to be live tickets as well. So is it like a, I don't know, like a concert or something?
Yeah, if you don't know, Mint is doing her, kind of concert thing, whatever you want to call it, and essentially it's an event run by Oshi Spark, and yeah, it's really, really cool. So obviously, if you don't know, they actually sold out all the tickets for the event, saying, wow, the Ibus came out in force. From Minto of Love is now officially sold out for both shows. They say we can't wait to see, we can't wait to welcome you into this intimate jazz club experience February 13th at the Peppermint Club. So it's, yeah, at a place in Los Angeles, and is going to be...
Dude, I could actually go to there. I could actually go to this if I wanted to. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I'm at that point where I want to go to these things yet, but I think it's pretty interesting. I probably have friends that would love to go to this, so I might ask them if they're going. I might actually do that probably tomorrow, like one in particular. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat if you're planning on going to this.
Yeah, featuring a ton of special guests and things, and one of them being Sameko Saba. Now, yeah, as I said, it's sold out, so you cannot buy tickets anymore, and you can actually buy streaming tickets though to actually see this, so you can watch it or actually watch the VOD for 30 days after. Again, so they put all of the kind of information here saying essentially don't miss your chance to see it, because again, I think it would be a really, really cool event. And there you can see it's 30.
I'll sneak in. I'll just go to the front. I'll just go to the front and tell them I'm Lupe Fiasco. They'll let me in immediately.
USD for streaming and a VOD, and obviously I guess the money goes towards the production and everything that has kind of gone on with that. But many people are pointing out the fact that obviously this is already sold out, and the timing of the Saba kind of announcement. So they sold out on the 21st of January, and then they announced Saba about 6 days later.
I see the problem.
You know, saying that it's.
I see the problem now. People are mad because they weren't planning on going, and then the tickets sold out. Now Saba's there. Now they're pissed off because now they probably would have went. Maybe do they have room to sell extra tickets? Also, I would imagine there's a lot of scalping going on.
Already sold out, and yeah, people have been pointing out the fact, saying that revealing Saba after the venue tickets sold out was the biggest brain move from Oshi Spark, because again, obviously at the end of the day, this is a Mint's event. This is run by Mint, so I think they wanted to get a lot of people who are fans of Mint to actually, you know, buy tickets and attend, because obviously we know how big Sameko Saba is with her audience. Her audience would go to, you know, Earth's ends to do anything for her, right? And
what do you guys think about that? I mean, they sold out, so it's neither here nor there in some respects. But it seems to me that a lot of people who like VTubers they like a lot of them, not just one or two, right? Most of them don't. So there's a lot of overlap. So I'm assuming they were concerned that if they announced Saba early, that a lot of the tickets would be sold by just exclusively fans of Saba, which doesn't make sense to me, because if you're a fan of Saba, that means you probably were a fan of Gura, which means you're probably a fan of Hololive English and Hololive in general, and that probably filters to other things. But at least for that. But I'm assuming, and I don't know if Mint herself is, because like I said, I don't follow all constantly like this, but I don't know if Mint used to be a Hololive VTuber as well. Maybe someone in the chat can let me know, because the name does sound familiar. But I would say typically you would, if the second you know someone is going to be in the show, you let them know so you can sell your tickets as soon as possible. So I'm very curious about that. Maybe they were worried about Mint's fans being upset that the tickets are sold out because of this huge rush. And I'm always worried about scalping, so I wonder if that would have made the scalping more intense if Saba was announced early too.
Obviously, that would be selling out a kind of event like this, which again would probably happen super quickly if they announced this earlier while the tickets were still available. Now, obviously, some people might think, you know, it's unfair because they didn't know and whatever. But to be honest, I think it is a pretty good move because, as I said, it is Mint's event, and you know, you want it to be primarily focused on her rather than the obviously, you know, the guests. Obviously, you know, it is still great that Saba is attending and that she's able to, and obviously her fans are going to be very excited to see that. And you can still buy the, you know, online.
I see. I think I know what the goal was, or at least what the strategy could have been. You sell the venue tickets with Mint, and then you make the second push. For the remaining tickets and the stream tickets with Saba, right? So that way because if you announce Saba, I'm assuming they had some type of agreement earlier, way earlier than this. But if you announce everything at once, then you'll have this huge, this huge time frame where everyone's really talking about it. But obviously, the engagement goes down and down and down until probably around the time where the event's about to happen, and then it goes back up again. But if you space the announcements of special guests, then it can then the interaction and the interest kind of stays more level. And you'll probably have a better, more consistent influx of purchases for the tickets over that period of time too, instead of like a huge burst at the last second. So that's probably what it is. I wouldn't imagine this is something that is really conducted by Mint herself or even Saba. It's more like the production team, the people who run the studio, the studio. You know what I mean, the venue, right? So I'm assuming that's probably what it is. That makes sense. It's a smart move from a production stance, but depends if the servers can withstand the load. That is a very good point. I am concerned that they might have streaming issues. I am very concerned because I don't know this venue, like the Peppermint Club. I don't know much about it. We can probably look up some stuff about the Peppermint Club, but at some point. But my initial assumption is that they don't know what they're getting themselves into unless there's a y'all know there's a history of them having these VTuber events before with major popular VTubers. You know what I mean? Like if someone told me there was a Miku concert here like a year or two ago or something like that, then I probably would be more comfortable in thinking, okay, they probably know what they're doing. They probably know what to expect, and they probably they probably upgraded their ability to stream since then. But that's my main concern. Obviously, the venue tickets are probably more expensive than the streaming tickets, so there's that. But hopefully, there's no like, after concert issue where we're talking about how bad the stream was.
Kind of viewing and whatever. So at the end of the day, I do think it was a pretty decent move from them, at least. Obviously, a lot of people saying, no doubt if they did it sooner, the website would have crashed, which, yeah, 100% would have been
Valid
true.
point.
They say that
Valid.
and the venue would have potentially been like 80% Saba only fans in a Mint concert, which, again, yeah, I 100% agree with that, because it's nothing to, kind of put down the Saba fans or anything. If anything, it just shows.
I mean, it shows how dedicated and devoted they are to Saba, which is every content creator, every VTuber wants a fan base that is that dedicated to supporting them, right? Everyone wants it, and it takes a long time for people to get that, and some of them never do to that degree. So it's this is kind of nice. It's appreciative. I think it's really cool. I remember when I was trying to get the merch for my friend, I have the shirt for Saba because I didn't want to just go and spend all this money and get nothing. But to get the whole package, when she first debuted, it sold out on the website pretty much immediately. My only shot at getting it was at Anime Impulse. I forget which convention it was. There was the one at LA last year, Los Angeles, at the Nina Staples Center. And even then, I had to have early access into the venue through my badge, or I would have been in a super long line. And I just knew I had to get there early and wait, or I would have screwed myself over. So my friend was heading towards this too. He didn't know I was getting the stuff from him, by the way. This is a surprise present. So I got there mad early. By the time I got the stuff and started walking back, that's when he got in. And by then the line was absurd. I cannot stress you guys enough, and I was shocked by this, how popular Saba is.
How strong and how dedicated they are, and the same with Mint fans as well, right? We're just giving no chance, because obviously Saba fans,
who's a bigger fan base, the Swarm or Saba's
supportive of their Oshis. So of course they're gonna like flood all of the tickets, and of course potentially crash the site. And yeah, as they're saying, the venue would have been like 80% Saba fans and like 20% other fans for Mint, right? Which I think would have been pretty crazy. And yeah, it is great though that there are still streaming tickets and stuff available. They say the venue is like 17 seats though. Was going to be a sellout either way, which yeah, is 100% true. It was going to be a sellout, but I think they wanted to kind of see that, hey, this is going to be a mainly Mint concert, right?
Yeah, because I would love to interview some of these VTubers, because like, I'm just thinking about it, stresses me the F out. Like all the stuff logistically you have to do. Like I just want to know how they go through this. I just want to ask them, how do you go through this? How do you mentally keep yourself, how do you mentally keep yourself stable, with all the crazy stuff you have to do? Because I'm increasing my workload and how long I'm streaming, but I really don't stream to a large audience. Maybe like I might get 15, 20, 25 people here max, and that's it, right? Whether I'm on YouTube or on Twitch, unless I'm doing Aphmau related stuff on YouTube, which then you might see like 65, 66, 68 people max on on a lucky day. But I don't normally expect that, so it's very interesting. Like, this gotta be crazy.
They say I'm reading 200, but to be fair, it would have been similar to Oshi Spark's virtual concert at the Broadway place, which had 1.6k capacity. So yeah, apparently there isn't many seats there anyways to actually.
Wait. Oshi Spark is a virtual concert at Broadway place. This is a Broadway. Is this a New York? Is this a New York location or? Okay, so it sounds. Oshi Spark, I would assume, has done this before. I mean, to be honest with you, but I'm talking about the specific venue, like, um, in LA. Obviously, I don't know how it goes logistically. I'm sure if the equipment is like from Oshi Spark or from somewhere else. So this brings up a lot of stuff in my head that I really want answers to.
Attend it in person. I think this is to be more of a virtual event anyways, but they did have the option to obviously go if you really wanted to. Obviously saying signature look of superiority and say why is it $30 to watch a live stream? Obviously some people are not too happy about that, which I can understand, you know, but people saying because renting a full rigging studio for 3D mocap and music is not a cheap endeavor, which yeah, I think it is kind of
why is it $30 to watch a live stream? Okay, I was about to say live stream. Okay. Yeah, I would imagine the technology in order to make this work is insane. So, yeah, I don't. What's a good number? Like, be honest, chat. Like, if you were a VTuber I mean, and not even a VTuber, if you were a company setting up this type of event, what is a good number for tickets? Right? I'm assuming $30 is like average. Like, how much would you pay for a pay-per-view fight, like a major fight? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's even remotely, like, the right comparison. That's all I can think of, to be honest with you. I honestly hate them a little for that. I wanted to get a ticket as soon as I saw that, and I realized they were already sold out not long ago. Yeah, I guess there's no way of preventing people from being upset about it. That's totally fair. I'm still a little iffy about I get the strategy if it is what we suggested, but to be honest with you, I don't know if I like that. It depends on the timeline of when they was able to make this agreement and get her ready. Because if it's true that she's been having health issues and that's why she has these breaks a lot of the time, then a lot of this is based on that, right? And at that point, you can't really be mad. You know what I mean? You really can't.
Understandable in that sense. I mean, it depends really how much they're pocketing and how much money is going to the kind of production company and stuff. Is it like literally this price because of how much it is cost to kind of do this, or have they just artificially raised it? That is a question that maybe some people are asking. But again, I do think it is just to cover the costs of putting on this event, because it does cost a lot of money to put on something like this, right? And I'm not denying that.
I would not be shocked if someone told me years later that concerts like this either barely cover costs or they're in the red after doing it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes these VTubers, they do this because for the love of the game, like it's a passion. They just want to do it. This is on their bucket list, not necessarily to make the money. Because like unless you have like a lot of like people giving money to it, like sponsors, etc. and stuff like that, like you're not probably. I don't know if you're actually gonna make a lot of money off of this. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. You know what I mean? VTuber is super popular right now, but I don't think it's that level yet, right? I don't think it's that level where like you can make a huge amount of money off of this yet, unless you get like the tip, like the 0.5% VTubers involved, which I would assume Saba is one of them, right? Yeah, this is very interesting. I just gotta ask these. I gotta ask someone like I just gotta ask Saba or any of these people if I had opportunity to like how do you go through from from a scheduling standpoint, going through all of these processes, setting up these meetings, like how do you have the mental energy to do this, right? And I would imagine this takes a physical toll on you, because if you're doing a stream like this, you're are they still? This is, I mean, obviously there's the software and the hardware is one thing, but they're actively moving, right? In like 3D tracking tracking devices. Are they actively moving, dancing, doing all this stuff, right? Even though you see the character, there's somewhere else actually doing the movements. Is that correct?
Right. They're saying if they do that in advance, I'm afraid their website will suffer. They say, surprise fish, hope you will have fun at the venue. I'm sure Mint will be happy. Which, again, at the same time, I think that, of course, I don't think it's going to be too disappointing for Saba fans because of how small the event is anyways, because there isn't many seats there. It's not like you're missing out too much. Most of the viewers will probably be virtual and will be watching through the stream, I would say.
Oh, okay. See, I don't know. See, that's also another factor. I don't know how big this venue is. In my head, where it was probably dumb on my part. I was thinking like a star, like a not like Rihanna or anything, but like something along those lines on a smaller scale, but still really big. and have a lot of people in there for the venue tickets, which would probably be more expensive than $30, right? Maybe they'll have some type of deal in the venue for merch. You can buy merch too. Maybe just limited edition merch, which would incentivize people from getting the venue tickets. Maybe that's what it is. But if this is a small venue, then I don't know. So this is a lot. This is a lot of interesting questions I would love answered.
Pretty much most of them, right? Because as I said, apparently the capacity is only like 200 or whatever. So again, it's not going to be like there's so many people there or whatever and you're missing out on a concert. Most people are going to be watching it virtually anyways. So yeah, obviously people were saying that. Also people saying scalpers who didn't buy any must be pissed as fuck right now, which again is true too, because obviously we know Saba's past with Hololive and stuff. Hololive has had a big problem with scalpers and stuff with their concerts, as much as they've tried to combat that and things. So there's going to be a lot of scalpers looking at whatever Saba is doing and a lot of the events that she puts on, due to the fact that this audience is obviously so dedicated and so I guess on it in terms of supporting Saba and whatever. They're obviously going to be watching and seeing if she does any concerts and seeing if she does any events that they can then scalp as well outside of Hololive, because they're probably keeping an eye on Hololive concerts, but also keeping tabs on people like Saba and stuff like that, who they know has a big audience too, that they could potentially grab a couple of quick bucks from for scalping tickets, which, as I said, has been a big problem for them in the past. And so again, I think it is one of those things too that essentially kind of announcing it now once the tickets are sold out will avoid scalpers, especially for such a small event, right? If they were doing it at some big stadium or something, I think scalpers are a little bit less of an issue. Obviously they are still an issue because they're very, very I guess like prevalent, but I think the majority of people should be able to get seats. The majority of people should be able to get there in time without scalpers kind of taking things. But whenever it comes to a small event with 200, there is much more opportunity for scalpers to take up most of the seats, which could end up in, obviously some people not even attending and things like that, right? And some people not buying it for the inflated prices. So yeah, that could also be an issue too. And that is also probably why they announced Saba a little bit later on. But also, I think at the end of the day, like regardless of the ticket sellings and whatever, I think surprising people with Saba right at the end as well is also just a nice little surprise, right? I think obviously a lot of people weren't expecting her to be there, especially with a lot of the hiatus and kind of breaks that she's been taking. People weren't really expecting her to get involved in a lot of big events. Maybe a couple of streams or whatever, like playing Hightail, like we've seen, but not exactly getting involved with From Into Love and things like that. Which again, it seems like she is doing. So great surprise for a lot of Saba fans, and hopefully they can all get virtual tickets. I don't think it's obviously they're saying don't miss your chance to watch it live. I don't know if it's kind of capped. I don't think it is. I think it is unlimited. You can see here is the lineup right now. We got Mint Phantom, of course. We got Phoebe and Victoria Roman, part of the kind of missing group that we talked about.
I don't be mad at me. I don't know almost all of these people. I've seen Mint's face before, but I don't know much about her. Nimi Nightmare was ex Hololive, right? And Miori Celesta. Yeah, so like, hey guys, if you are a big fan of any of these VTubers and you're watching this video, because this is gonna go on YouTube, I really want to know. Let me know what you know about Phoebe, Victoria, and Miori specifically. I'm pretty sure Nimi is ex Hololive. Is Mint as well or no? But obviously I know about Saba, so.
We got Nimi Nightmare, as well as Miori Celesta, and also Sameko Saba. So yeah, all of them will be there, and it'll be with a live jazz band for a very special jazz club performance. So they're gonna have a live band there
honestly,
too.
I would have liked to go to something like this just for the jazz music, just to see what they do with it, because this sounds uniquely special in terms of what's going on here. I don't think I've heard of a VTuber concert that was jazz themed. So I might look up some stuff with Mint, because if that's the case, she must be a big fan of jazz.
Exciting, and of course it does look like a very, very good event, and hopefully this can push Oshi Spark as well into doing more big events as well, because it seems like they have definitely promoted the hell out of this, and it seems like this is a big one. I don't know what they've done in the past before in terms of events. They did talk about a couple of others, but hopefully this does give them even more attention to start up even more big events like this. Because
wait, when was this account made? So they've only been around like maybe 3 years. Probably like 2 years and change. So they're relatively new. Gotcha. All right, well, good luck. Hopefully it turns out really well, because obviously if something like this goes poorly, then it's just going to make it harder for more concerts to really get the bigger venues, right? It makes sense, right? We're trying to get a VTuber at the Super Bowl, you know what I mean? We're trying to get the VTuber at the Super Bowl halftime, which I think is possible, actually. But probably not in the next 6 years. Right? If a VTuber, we need to get a VTuber on at like a major sporting event in terms of like a halftime show. I know Hololive did like the Dodgers and stuff like that at one point. I'm talking about like the All-Star game or something along those lines, where they're doing like a song or something like that. And I think the person has the best chance of that is probably Mori, because she's English native, and I believe, and she's signed. So I forget the company. Someone told me already in one of the previous videos, what it was. I already forgot. But because they would probably the label she signed on to would probably have the best chance of setting that up. So
give them even more attention to start up even more big events like this, because it is honestly great to see. But yeah, that is essentially all there is with this situation. I just kind of wanted to cover it because I thought it was pretty fun. And also, you know, I think the explanation as to why they did it so late, and as to why Saba was kind of announced late. Also, I think there is also the factor of the fact that Saba maybe was unsure whenever this was first being kind of broadcasted, due to the fact that she was on break with whatever. And, you know, she maybe was unsure that she'd be able to make it. And now she's kind of sure now. So that's why they, you know, announced it now. That could also be the case too. So again, many different reasons, probably all, you know, a little bit kind of mixed in there. And yeah, I just kind of wanted to explain that for all you guys, because you might be a little bit confused as to why, yeah, you can't buy any tickets right now, and Saba just got announced. But yeah, I mean, that is essentially all I got for this video.
What the hell? Period tracker? Jesus Christ, I'm not about, like, what the hell is wrong, people? Anyways,
if you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out.
Get you guys some gamer subs, and thank you, more Kazahana, for the video. Really appreciate it. So that was pretty surprising news. I wish I knew about this stuff earlier. I don't mind trying stuff at least once in terms of like VTuber related things. Actually, last year was the first time I actually met a VTuber. You know how, like, when you go to conventions, right? You meet VTubers behind, like, they have the monitors or the screens they're on, and you actually can talk to them through a mic and stuff like that. So the first time I did that was last year. So that was pretty cool. It was Nova Alkami. Yep. Just happened to be there and found out that this was a thing that was happening, so I just said hi real quick. But yeah, maybe someday I will go to one of these events, and maybe I'll talk about it once I get back for a video. Very, very interesting. All right, guys, it's been real. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Stay jamming.